Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be going over three of the most basic rudiments I think you can have. Actually, there's two basic rudiments, and then one's a rudiment that's a combination of those first two. So I gave you a handout called Basic Rudiments of Music Theory. So the first line is just about music theory, but we're going to skip that in this video for right now, and we're going to go to lines 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so the first one is the single stroke roll. Okay, very basic rudiment. So you have your pad in front of you, you have your two sticks, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to start with your right hand, and you're just going to do one single stroke on the drum head. Then you're going to go to your left hand and do a single stroke on your left. And that's the single stroke roll. After that, you would just repeat the sequence. Right, left, right, left, okay? Remember, use proper technique that we showed you in the holding stick video. You want to use your rebound of your stick, and you want to use your fingers to help your stick move. But the single stroke roll, that's all it is. It's just one with your right, one with your left. Now you can start with your left hand as well. Left, right, and you're just alternating. That's all you're doing. This is the single stroke roll. Now I wrote it in this exercise with quarter notes and eighth notes. So the quarter note would just be, if you have your metronome going, on 1, 2, because this is written in 2/4. So that's your metronome. And you do right, left, and then next measure, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay? So that's all it is. You're just hitting on every beat of your metronome. Okay? Now, if you skip down to we're on the second line right there, skip to the 2, 3, to the fourth line, you can see I've written it in eighth notes. So you would count that as 1 and 2 and. Okay? So the 1 gets your right hand, the 2 gets your left. I'm sorry, the and of 1 gets your left. 2 on your right, the and of 2 on your left. So it'll sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay? So that would be the single stroke roll in quarter notes and eighth notes. Next is your double stroke roll. So that is line 3 and 6. So 3 and 6. Double stroke roll. If a single stroke roll is just one right hand followed by one left hand, the double stroke rolls, you're just going to double that. So it's 2 right hands followed by 2 left hands. And then you just repeat that sequence, okay? So in that next line, it's labeled double stroke roll. You can see that both of your quarter notes are on top of the line. That means you play it with your right hand. So if our metronome is playing, start off with the right hand. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Last measure, 1, 2. All right. Now, if we skip down to line 6, we've written that in eighth notes as well. So the 1 and will get your right hand, the 2 and will get your left hand, and then you just repeat that sequence. Here's your metronome. Your metronome is going to be playing on the numbers, the downbeats, 1, 2, but you're going to be playing on the upbeats as well. So 1 and 2 and, right? Here we go. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay? So quarter notes, 1, 2, a right hand on 2 of those clicks with your metronome, then left hand on 2 of the clicks with your metronome. Eighth notes, you're going to be playing 2 rights on the click, so click and then 2, click and. All right? Fine, so that's your single stroke and double stroke. Those are the most important rudiments. I think everything else is really just either a combination or a variation of those two. And I'll show you one. It's called the paradiddle. It's really a combination of both those single and double strokes. So if you go down to line 4 there, it says it's labeled paradiddle. I've written those in quarter notes. So you can see in the first measure, you have, it looks like a single stroke roll. You have a right hand and then a left hand, okay? But then when you look at the second measure, you'll see there's 2 right hands, right, right. And that's your paradiddle, okay? So it's a single, single, double. And that's where the paradiddle gets its name, paradiddle, okay? That's how you can remember that. The last 2 measures, we started with our right hand in the first 2 measures. Now we're going to start with our left hand in the next 2 measures. So we just have a left and a right. So there's your single stroke. And then we're going to end with a double on our left. Left, left. Okay? So all together, that whole line is paradiddle, paradiddle. So it's right, left. There's your single stroke. Go back to your right and do a double. Right, right. And then you have a left, right, left, left. That's the paradiddle. I'll do it one more time. Right, left, right, right. Left hand lead. Left, right, left, left. And that's the paradiddle. So if you're playing that with a metronome, right, and quarter notes, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, if you look at the very last line there, I've written that paradiddle in 8th notes. All right. So you have 1 and is your right left, and then you have 2 and with just your right. That's your double with your right. Then in that second measure of the last line of the page, we have our left hand lead. So you have 2 and, sorry, that was 1 and then 2 and. Okay, so one more time. 1 and, so that's your single. 2 and, that's your double. So all together it would sound like this. Here's your metronome. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay, those are your 3 basic rudiments, your drum rudiments that I want you to practice, and you can use this video as a reference so you'll be reminded of what we taught you in class.